Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Blair Halver. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Transactional Real Estate Podcast. Or maybe you're watching on YouTube or somewhere else. Thank you for joining us. In this episode, my business partner Jeff and I are going to field some questions from some of our private mentoring clients about deal structuring and how to do deals and how to get the business running and that sort of thing. So I think you're going to get a lot out of that. And so you definitely want to stay tuned. And if you want to learn more about how to become a transactional real estate engineer, in other words, creating win-win deals out of thin air with motivated sellers, whether they got enough equity for a cash deal or not. We're looking at cash, terms, everything in between, and literally have doubled our conversion rate just by taking the blinders off from wholesale and rehab over into lease options, wrap mortgages, seller financing, everything else. And so I think you're going to get a lot out of that. And if you want to learn more, please check out our free webinar at blairhalver.com. That's BLAIRHAL, V as in Victor, ER.com. We'll put a link somewhere in the show notes. But check out the free webinar, which is called How to Consistently Do 5 or More Deals a Month Without Wholesaling, Without Rehabbing, Without Chasing Deals, and without working 80 hours a week. Sounds pretty good, right? All right, well, check that out later. Right now, enjoy this episode. We'll see you on the flip. Well, we got Vitaly's got his hand up here. Let's go ahead and jump in. Vitaly, I got you unmuted, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you. Can you hear us?
Yep.
All right.
I just say hi, everybody.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, so I had that deal. Hey, yeah. So, I got under contract, with the lady, and couldn't negotiate price any better, but she agreed to pay, make first three payments after the close.
Yep.
Um,
So tell us the high level numbers on the deal. What's the ARV? If it's all fixed up, tip top shape, what could it sell for?
Well, it doesn't need much work. It's been remodeled recently a little bit. Well kept basically. My numbers. Well, she was trying to list it. She was going to list it for 190.
Okay.
I think it's the comps probably would support it.
Okay, so 190, and what's your price?
I'm thinking 180. Be more realistic.
No, I'm sorry. What's your purchase price?
160.
160. Okay, how much does she owe?
129 plus, so 130.
Okay.
So I would.
So what was the deal? Nothing down?
Nothing down. Well, $20, to secure the deal.
Right.
And 30,000 to her at when we sell the property.
Yeah. So not when you buy it from her, but when you cash out at some point down the road, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
and what are the terms of that 30 grand carryback? What are the terms of that?
No interest, no payments.
No time limit?
No.
Okay, so no balloon. And what's the monthly payment that you're taking over?
$1,260.
And what could you rent it for?
I have to double check to kind of tune the numbers, but I think that's pretty much the rent. 1,300 or so for the standalone house, plus utilities. That's would be the rent. It is 15 years mortgage, so that's why the payment is kind of high.
Okay. And so what's your plan? What are you going to do with it?
Well, the idea is to sell it to a tenant buyer at 180. And again,
why are you selling it less than ARV? You said it needs some work. It probably needs 10 grand of work, or what?
No, I don't think so. 180 was kind of my bottom, right? Okay. So that's what I was kind of going off. So I think I can get at least that, with all this kind of deal structure. But I might as well shoot for 190 and stuff, because some real estate agent gave her an listing price 207, which I think kind of high.
Yeah.
You can compete with some newer construction, the small, not too big of a size houses like that.
Yeah, I'd put it at 189 or 199.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if it's so, what needs to be done on the house? I mean, you could move into it right now, right?
Yes, after some, well, she said, well, obviously, we have 90 days to close. She needs a little bit of time, but she's pretty much ready. They buying a different, the other house. So as soon as they know the closing date there, we'll set the closing date on our end here.
Right.
Yeah, really, really not much. I mean, there was lots of stuff in there, but it looked nice. The new appliance, new appliances, carpet looks just decent, fine, and
Yeah.
so
it's
I don't
probably
think it's really need much at all.
okay.
Maybe couple grand if you want to spend on some little projects here and there.
Yeah. Well, I'd definitely put it out at 199 then. Unless, I mean, if it's got new appliances, the place looks good, it's clean, it's got some
No garage, so that's why I think it was coming down to a little, conservative on price. There is
Okay.
a carport, really nice structure they just put up together. That fits probably 4 vehicles under.
Yeah.
It's all 1 acre property too, so.
So you're gonna sell settle on a lease option
Mm-hmm.
at either 190 or 200, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you'll get down?
Well, I'm thinking at least 15. I will be asking 15,000 at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So 15 grand up front. You think you'll get a monthly spread, or maybe just break even?
I'll as I said, I'll look around closely because I was kind of going off my conservative numbers,
Mm-hmm.
that I break even on monthly, and all I can get is 180. That was my conservative numbers. Now I'm kind of since I have it under contract, I'm gonna be looking into my kind of maximum profit
Yep.
there and see what
Good.
I can get.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds good.
I guess my question is now, since it's under contract, how would I go with the closing? That's pretty much.
Well, if she's gonna make next 3 payments after you close, you might as well close now if you like the deal that much. And it sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna wait too long. I guess she's gonna find out when her closing date is on
Yeah.
her property, and I'm gonna set hours around that date. Because I kind of want her out of there, when we close. She has
Yeah.
lots of stuff. I don't, I won't be able to do much with it anyway, like as far as showing and.
Yeah. Seller's got to be out before you close.
Yeah.
Always.
So I mean, the technical part. I have contract and authorization to release the information,
Mm-hmm.
and I do want to close. I want my attorney to do the closing for me, right?
Yep.
So he looked at the paper, and I kind of briefly explained him like how I see it, because he obviously never done this. Well, they don't do typical closing. They can assist you with deed, transfer, and when they don't do escrow, nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
He told me like, hey, I might just want to go with the title company. They would do the escrow. I told him, hey, there is no money transaction really.
Yeah.
And he told me, well, then you just need a deed. Is that right?
Need a what?
Deed.
A deed.
Property. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Look at the sample closing package that's in the Google Drive folder. There's a bunch of docs that need to go in there, not the least of which is the CYA letter, Seller Acknowledgement Disclosure Form.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then they got to also, that's going to cover your butt and make sure they're properly and fully disclosed of all the risks of doing the transaction this way, so that nobody could ever say you're trying to pull the wool over their eyes or anything like that.
Yeah. So because my attorney so far, he agreed to assist me with that.
Mm-hmm.
I told him, well, there is no money really transaction at the moment. We don't need the escrow. I just need all this paperwork to be executed, notarized, and I need somebody to represent me that way.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. That
And
sounds about right. But he's going to want to do a title search, and if he wants to delegate that to a title company, then okay,
well, he's gonna request the title search from them.
Right.
We're gonna pay for it, and they're gonna do the title search and provide it to him.
Okay.
And so the contract is in my company's name. Authorization to release information. Whose name do I put on that? My company name or attorney or my?
You'd put your personal name or whoever you think is going to be calling their bank to confirm the info. And our attorney who does it, he has a seller info sheet that he does for every closing. And most attorneys or title companies will have that. You're just going to give that to the seller, have them fill it out, and on there is typically going to be some sort of authorization for the attorney or the title company to call the bank and ask for a payoff letter or a payoff amount.
Mm-hmm.
That's typical. That's, if you've been in any transaction, that happens all the time. So
yeah,
totally normal.
Oh, so we actually do need it when we're at closing.
Well, you want to verify that the debt you're taking over is what she said it was.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, so I put my name on it or my attorney's name.
Yeah.
On our authorization to release information.
Yeah. Or if the title company or the attorney or whoever's handling those details of the transaction, if they're going to call the bank, get their name on it. And they may have their own form that they want to use instead of our generic authorization of release information.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I would have to contact the seller again and get it signed.
Yeah, you just email it over to them. Here, get this back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, with the trust document,
Mm-hmm.
that's something I fill out myself, right?
Yeah, the trust agreement itself is something that you fill out in your private office. It's not part of the actual transaction, part of the closing, right? And that just goes in your private files.
And I don't remember. There is a video how to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. It's easy. You just name the beneficiary and the trustee and the property. That's about it. And name the trust.
So the beneficiary is me or the company?
The company, yeah.
And the trustee
is ideally
another company.
It can be another company depending on your state. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an attorney. Find out what they say in Alaska. Or I use my assistant. She's my trustee. So if you use a person, make sure they don't have your same last name. But make sure that you trust them.
Can he be my partner and business partner?
So whoever's trustee, they need to be somebody that you control and trust. Because if you get down the road and you decide you want to do something with the property where the trustee needs to sign and your partner and you have, gone separate ways, and you haven't done the proper succession of trustee and all this, then it could be a problem. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Just do a substitution of trustee.
Yeah.
At any point in time, as a beneficiary, you have that legal capacity to do that. So you just substitute it out.
Yeah.
So, and I need this document ready before we close, right?
The trust agreement can be done after or same day or whenever. It doesn't have to be done before. And in fact, the trust doesn't actually exist until the property is deeded into it.
Okay. So do I close into my company name and then I quit claim it to my trust, or no?
No. The deed goes straight into the land trust.
Okay, so I have to sign the contract, the agreement.
Yeah, your attorney will probably ask you to do that. It's kind of just a nuance. It doesn't change the deal at all, but for his paperwork and records, he probably will want that.
Are the document in the folder for that, or he would have something?
Yeah, no, there's just that one-page assignment.
Assignment document.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically, if I go back to talk to him, because I guess I pretty much explained, yeah, that's how I understood it, and that's how I told him. But just sum it up. I have a purchase agreement. Now I want to close on it and into my have property deeded to trust.
Yep.
So with that purchase agreement, we need assignment. Trust. I create the trust. Attorney does the title search and assist me with all the paperwork.
Yep.
When we sign in.
Yeah, send him that sample package that's in the Google Drive folder.
Mm-hmm.
We can see what needs to be in there. He's probably got half of those documents already. There, some, a lot of them are standard, just disbursement forms and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is, have him use the correct warranty deed to trustee, as well as the seller CYA letter or the seller disclosure form. It's not actually called the CYA letter, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. And so, yeah, I mean, you're just going to work with the seller and figure out when you want to when they want to be out, and confirm that they are out before you close, right? Because you don't have any cash you're holding back from them. Like sometimes we'll leave the seller in the house after we close, but the only way we can get them out after is by holding something back from them that they were supposed to get. Otherwise, they could just say, "Nah, I decided not to move."
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, you ever run into that?
Yeah, you want to make sure they're out. I don't ever close anything until they're gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
You just don't have any, clout, any hammer to hold over their head if you let them stay and, all move at some point, because why would they?
Yeah, well, I guess that answers most of my questions.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, it sounds like you got a good deal. Where did that deal come from?
Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she came across one of my ads and fill up the form. I called her and stuff. Yeah, I'm getting quite a few leads, and I look at a couple other properties this weekend, and they're just ugly. The one lady agreed to price what she owes on it, but after I looked at it, I didn't really want to deal with that even at that price, and it's only 85,000. But she has tenants. Tenants kind of mess. So
yeah,
and property is the mess, and so I'm not sure if I want to waste my energy on that. So for now, I told her
I think it's worth.
It's my work. If in a good shape, rented, it's maybe because it's older 150, 160, but in my opinion, you have to put 80 grand into it, to bring it to that condition.
If she's willing to give you terms, I'd go sign it up, man. Sorry, Jeff, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, that's fine. I was going to say almost the same thing. Especially, you could say, listen, I'll take it, but you're going to have to get rid of the tenants and you're going to have to do a basic clean out or something like that. A lot of times, you got no, you could ask and potentially get a yes. So rather than just automatically saying no, especially if you're almost 50 cents on the dollar, 55 cents on the dollar. That's probably not a bad deal. It could be a potential wholesale thing, but what you got to do is make it a wholesale or a prehab type thing, and say, put it under contract, and we'll close as soon as you get those tenants out and clean out the trash.
Yeah, so I should give it another thought then. That's what I told her, that hey, I need to give it another, a little bit of
Generally, a house that's worth 150 never needs 80,000 of rehab. If it is, it's a tear down.
Well, that's what I'm kind of,
80,000 is a lot of rehab. Huge amount of rehab. You're talking.
Well, we're also in Fairbanks, Alaska.
Yeah,
your rehab, you double it at least.
Yeah, that's true.
If it costs 25,000 to you, it costs 50 to me. I know that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but still, structurally, it's hard to take a house like that and do that much rehab. I mean, if you have to do a rehab that's 50% or more of the value of the house, it's probably a tear down. There's some value problem there. There's some other issue. Now, is it structural? Is it mechanical? Is it, that kind of thing? Or
Well,
is it
it's
house structure?
obviously that it's older house, right? It's from what 50s, and it has flat roof that we don't like here,
Hmm.
And being that old with flat roof, I can assume that there is probably um, installation issues, and like I think there would be roof issues there for sure, because the
Hmm.
flat roof doesn't last that long in Alaska with all the snow load, and um,
It's lasted for 60 years.
yeah. I can see somebody might be interested at that price, 85, but based on my experience, and I rehab quite a few properties here, I don't really want to deal with that. It's too much work. That's
Right.
what I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from. That kind of I don't want it. So I'm not sure if there is anybody who wants it at that price. Probably.
Well, remember, we don't buy like we sell. So, we may not, in most of these houses, the ideal position to be in is you would never want to live in one of these houses that you're rehabbing, that you're doing something with because it's, below your standard or whatever. That is the normal thought process. However, there are most of the people who would love to have home ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of rehabbers out there who would love to overpay for, a wholesale deal. I mean, these guys
Mm-hmm.
are, you know, like rabbits. They multiply. They're all over the place. So if it's a no harm, no foul, where you can put it under contract, get her to agree to kick out the tenants, get her to agree to do the basic cleanup, you might be able to pick up 10, 15,000 as a wholesale flip for cash, and without ever having to put out more than $20.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'll look into it. That's what I was going to do. Kind of give it another thought and see what I'm, competing against, because I know my market a little bit, and it's kind of unique,
Right.
in many ways. So that's why, when a simple rehab costs me twice as much, when you face something like this, you don't want to get involved in it. But passing on to somebody, that's could be an option.
Somebody
I
will.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'll give it another thought.
Just remember, you're not just a one-trick pony, Vitaly. You are a transactional engineer, which is you look at everything that comes your way and you figure out how to monetize it to your benefit. And
Mm-hmm.
that potentially is just another way. I don't know if the numbers will work or not, but right up front, uh, I think Blair and I agree. I mean, get it under contract, get some concessions. Get her to clean it out, get rid of the tenants, that kind of thing. I mean, maybe the tenants want to buy it.
No, no, those people not gonna buy it.
Have they been paying her?
She says yes, but she was behind on payments, and she told me that when I met her that she caught up, and by now she was kind of like 1 month behind or so, or 2 months behind.
Mm-hmm.
Tenants were paying, but those
Sure.
are those are kind of tenants that they probably never gonna buy anything.
Okay, just once again, don't assume, and I'm not just saying this for your benefit, it's for everybody on the call and who's going to be listening to this call in the future. Don't automatically assume that what these guys are. I've
Mhm.
seen some people, I've seen guys in the, here in California in the most beat up shape, have $200,000-300,000 of cash stashed in their mattress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would love to have that opportunity. So if they've been making the payments, they're probably going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know. They might be I mean, before you say no, you go to them and say, "Would you like to own this house? I'll sell it to you for 150 with seller finance." And all you got to do is give me 20,000 down or something.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
All
Yeah,
right. Well,
I'll give it a thought. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would sign it up. And I tell this to everybody, don't kill the deal before you even have the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't want to mess with the rehab doesn't mean somebody else won't. So first step on everything is go sign it up, and then let's figure out if we want it, what we want to do with it, and all that sort of thing before
Mm-hmm.
the deal goes bye-bye. Okay?
Okay.
So, I mean, that's what I would do. And hopefully you can report back to us on Thursday and say that you got that deal too. You got it signed up.
Well, I probably could easily. Yeah, she agreed on pretty much.
Right.
Well,
Whenever anybody says they'll sell it for what they owe, just go sign it up and then figure out what to do with it later. And if you have to cancel it, great. It's better to do that than just pass on the deal altogether.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll do
for
that.
sure. Okay. Well, cool. Well, we got a couple of folks who've had their hands up for a long time, so we'll get on with the next. Anything else for now, Vitaly? Anything real quick? Last words?
No. I'll see you on Thursday if I have
Okay.
anything. So, yeah, thanks.
All right. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some golden nuggets out of that. As I said before, if you want to learn more about how you can get into this side of the business where we literally get paid like on a flip every time we acquire a cash flowing rental property. It's like the best of both worlds, like a hybrid between flippers and buy and hold guys. We're here doing deals where we're getting the benefits of both. So if you want to learn more about that, check out our free webinar at blairhalver.com, BLAIRHALV like Victor, ER.com. You can check us out there. The webinar is called How to Consistently Do 5 or More Deals a Month Without Wholesaling, Without Rehabbing, Without Chasing Deals, and Without working 80 hours a week. That's a long title. I had to remember that. Also, my attorney wants me to tell you, I am an idiot. Do not listen to anything I say. You will not make any money doing anything I say. So don't listen to me. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're going to do with this information. All I'm trying to do is show you what I'm doing in my own business. Take it or leave it. I am not an attorney. I'm not an accountant, so anything that you might have heard on this, don't take that as legal or accounting advice. Go consult your own professionals. I delegate all that stuff anyway. You definitely do not want to listen to me on that, all right? All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you on the next one. Go ahead and click the like button, subscribe, whatever you do on whatever platform you're listening to this on, and we'd appreciate it. And if you've got some value out of it, please share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.